of men. And just like all of you, I lost men from firefighters. Guys from my high school, Zavarian, died there. Mothers, uncles, friends. They were salt of the earth's souls. We all lost someone we knew. We miss them, and we're angry that we do it for them. It's been estimated that caustic dust and toxic smoke at ground zero. Today, in the 9/11 related illness, 20 years ago today. Global pandemic. 20 years together like nobody. These teach us that can't force. Nothing can. Together. On the planet besides safety and livelihoods backyard in our neighborhood, and not a city of me. One thing is certain. New York City was attacked on 9/11. And that's why it's so in our values. It's a crisis, but every single day, the world, every color, every religion, every makes us great. When we allow others to divide us up, let anyone tear us apart. Being a home to everyone's strengths. This is the America that can summon America to which we must. No matter the challenge, we our lives on this earth, whether we think on 9/11. Here tonight. We learn that life, there is no time for hate. For Leo Network.
Space. everything divine. Let's be all right at the best cities gleam. America, God shed His grace on me. With pride shine.
Thank you. Joined by both former council Marty Golden. I want to thank both of them for joining us. They provided to the community in the wake this evening. Now I would like to call up for some remarks someone who in his short time in the neighborhood and has really helped make his mark and has joined us for in celebration or in really demonstrated his commitment to being a community partner. Colonel Craig Martin, who is the commanding
much better at this than I am. So, good evening, everyone. Just thank you for the kind words, Councilman. I don't usually speak late at night, so I'll adjust. Thanks. I guess I'm tall. This pier all the way to the other to see all these people out here. 9/11, and you're here to remember those that we lost. We remember for families. We remember for New York. We remember for Bay Ridge, and we remember for Beooklyn. But we have to remember for those families and all those things that I just mentioned. Love is the key. But we have to remember to love our way of life and all those things, not just for now, but long into the future. Because freedom is not free. And they don't grow people like me or my teammates, Command Sergeant Major McKay, in a little box out in the middle of the United States. I'm a kid from East Texas. I grew up, I wasn't really good at soccer or racquetball, but somehow I got into. And people like me exist in the city too. That post over there, Fort Hamilton, is small, but one thing we do is every person, every man, woman, young, old, who wants to serve in the military comes through Fort Hamilton. Doesn't matter what service. Because they're inspired to serve, and they're a new generation that will carry that torch forward. Service during 9/11, and I remember, but many of these young people don't. And we voice and share with them. We have to have opportunities like this to show them that remembering is absolutely critical to the survival of our nation, because they have to be inspired to serve, whether it's in the military or as a first responder, as a doctor, or anyone else that lends a hand to lead and to serve our community and our nation. It's a good thing to love. It's the greatest thing we can do. It's what makes us special. That we hold our hands out and we say, I am here to help you. Not every day is a good because of the people that are sitting or standing to our left and our right. So lift each other up. Inspire each other to be better human beings and to love and send a kind word to those who know. Never seen before, because they are still hungry and they still, because we stand together on this pier tonight. America, the United States of America. Woo. It's my privilege and honor to serve. I do actually very much love Beirut. And I confuse my wife when I come home because I leave with a Texas accent and I come back with a Brooklyn accent. Yeah. And that's okay. I think they're both great.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for honoring me and our team here at Fort Hamilton. We love being part of your community. And our long native to Brooklyn and New York City. We are you, and you remember what happened on this day 20 years ago so that we can hold in our hearts what we must for those that lost the ultimate or gave the ultimate sacrifice. And let's remember to inspire what happened 20 years ago from ever happening again in our nation. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Woo!
A very dear friend who does a lot of great work in this neighborhood, serving this neighborhood, as he has for the past almost 20 years. FDNY EMS Lieutenant Anthony Almagera.
I'm honored to be here tonight. As a member of the fire department, it's hard. Everywhere you go in the fire department, there's something that reminds the memorial, whether it's a coworker who 9/11. One of the things that I take for granted sometimes I forget that the rest of the world doesn't have that privilege of always remembering what happened that day. I wasn't at 9/11 and the fire department at the time, but I did live right over there in Red Hook. My backyard was the Twin Towers, and when I came home that evening, the papers from Cantor Fitzgerald were watching the second tower come down, and my shock and horror at such an event. As someone who's been around the world, I couldn't imagine that the people I had traveled with or had seen would do such a thing. The fact that that did happen, and as the father said, in the days after 9/11, so many people come together in such loss and tragedy. I think about is how I took for granted a pre-9/11 world. The ease of walking around the streets, the ease of traveling, the ease of not. And what I'm hoping for with remembering today on 20 years later and working in FDNY EMS and helping so many people, whether they're race, creed, color, religion, is that if we could go back to a pre-9/11 world, I'd like to take the lessons learned and apply them then. So let's apply them now. Let's keep moving forward as a united country. Let's make sure that we look at each other with love and compassion. Let's not forget the loved ones that were lost that day. and let's remember the living, because they're the ones who have to carry the burden of it all. As a fire department EMS employee, I serve this community. I often say Bay Ridge is the biggest, smallest city in the world. That I get to go into your homes and take care of you when you're sick and injured, and I'm honored to be a part of the fire department.
Much, Anthony. So we are near thoughts and remarks. Staff and volunteers are going to start walking around. Everyone that has a candle, we're going to start lighting the candle. Have a moment of silence, and then we will have the Zavarian band play Amazing Grace, and that'll be the for tonight's commemoration. 20 years ago, the kind of morning that filled our spirits with a sense of boundless optimism, that everything in our world was as it should be, and that nothing could ever go wrong. And everything we thought we knew about our city and our nation. Through grotesque violence, we realized things are capable of heinous actions that defy explanation, and that the world that we thought we knew. You know, reflecting on 20 years is a challenge, because the memory of that moment is still seared into our consciousness, but over time, it's natural that we once felt. Immediately after, appeared, but just slowly. Years later, born into the world that they have no knowledge. The young people that led us in our Pledge of Allegiance. The scar of 9/11. So the challenge day hereafter is to somehow find a way for those who have never. We don't want memory of that pain, so that 100 years from now, and 9/11 is not just a footnote in the annals of history, but embedded in the collective consciousness. Changed. Only then can we to the universal commandment to never forget. Those words form such a powerful piece for each of us.